Welcome, everyone. We're excited to have you again, and we're excited to welcome John Walker as the person who is leading Mindful Moments this semester. And so we'll just turn it right on over to you, John, so you have most of the time.
Okay, it looks like I am not muted. Should I wait for you to mute me? You're good? We're good? All right. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for attending and being part of this. And thank you for being part of the university system to help people learn how to engage the world with curiosity and openness and are willing to look into things rather than just accept what they're told. So just deep gratitude for that. And I thought I would do a practice for difficult emotions, since that often accompanies us through careers like you have and life in general. So I'm going to do what I usually do is maybe talk about that a little bit. There will be a handout. I'll provide April and Becca the link for that to go with the webpage. Uh, and then we'll do a practice, the mindful self-compassion approach to working with difficult emotions. But I think it helps to ask yourself, why do we have emotions? Why do these things show up? Obviously there's the positive ones, but there's the negative ones that can have a real tormenting quality. And uh, and so, why are they there? And there's lots of answers to that question, but perhaps a simple one is they're warning lights. Our subconscious doesn't tend to communicate in words or often anything particularly coherent, but it will give us moods, it will give us images, it will give us feelings. And so, when these difficult emotions arise, we're called on to pause if we can and listen to them. What are they trying to tell us? But that's not easy, is it? What happens when that rough stuff shows up? We tend to want to avoid it or suppress it or distract ourselves away from it, or oftentimes we're too busy to even notice them. So these emotions, these warning lights are blinking, but we for whatever reason we can't stop to attend to them. And of course, that just perpetuates the emotion. And even if the emotion is gone, it perpetuates the reaction to the emotion, and suddenly we're limited in how we can deal with situations because we have this stored up supply of resentment or irritations or sadness that we bring to every moment in our lives because we haven't really given ourselves the kindness of experiencing those emotions. So the idea is to do a practice like this, not to make the difficult emotion go away, but rather to be able to be with it. Okay, so we don't have that resistance. We're not fighting it. We're not feeding it and then perpetuating what's going on. So part of that means just being really nice to ourselves, simply because that difficult emotion is here. But it also involves about 5 processes. And again, this will be in the handout, and I'll walk you through this in the practice. But the first two involve simply acknowledging the emotion, first naming it. Simply naming the emotion can change our relationship to it. And two is seeing how it's showing up in the body. Just because emotions have a physical correlate, that's why we call them feelings. And naming it and becoming curious about how it's showing up in the body can give us a little space around it. And then the nurturing part of this, what we would call softening and soothing and allowing. And again, I'll go through that in the practice. So I'll invite you. This will probably be about 12 to 14 minutes. And I'm happy to stay after the 20-minute period. We stop recording at 20 minutes, but if people want to stay after and talk about their experience or explore this further, I'm more than happy to do that. Uh, but yeah, just basically settling into wherever you are. You don't need to be in any particular position, and certainly don't feel like you need to be frozen in position. Some people find they automatically start moving, rocking, and just shifting, just in ways to support themselves. So, but perhaps starting by giving yourself the gift, the kindness of checking into your body and looking for tension that wants to be released. Okay, we spend so much time up in our heads, busy, active, and we can be burning energy without realizing it. So if we take a moment to check into our body, to actually see if there's tension there, notice it, and then just soften into it. Perhaps checking through the muscles of the face, into the neck and shoulders, just allowing the softening. If you're having the additional sound meditation of my dogs barking in the background, see if you can welcome that. We're practicing welcoming things here. And softening into the abdomen, really letting that belly that holds so much tension, see if you can just soften it. Let that softening spread down into the legs, up into the chest, down into the arms. Just allowing yourself, even just this 30 seconds of softening at various points in the day can make a difference. That pause can help you settle into what's going to be happening in the next present moment. And then as you begin to settle in, check to see if there's any emotions here that are difficult. There probably are. There's probably some tension about what'll be coming up, some frustration about what may have happened, an email you read, just something with an edge. And really allow yourself to sense that. Okay. Just something that's difficult, something on the mild side. We definitely don't want to go into something that'll put us into overwhelm, but just really sensing, whatever it was, something that was said, the people there, what was in the email, the assignment, just you begin to feel it in your body a little bit, just sensing that. And the first thing I'll invite you to do is simply name the emotion that's here. Okay, just naming it in a gentle voice. Maybe there's some fear or worry or loneliness or frustration. Just see what happens when you give yourself this kindness of naming the emotion, validating it. So often we don't even allow ourselves to sense the difficulties that are here. We feel we need to be focused outwards, doing all kinds of different things. But just allowing yourself to name the emotion. And as you name the emotion, see if there's any change. Again, we're not trying to make something happen. We're not trying to make it go away. We're just seeing what happens if we name this emotion. And then all emotions have an experience in the body. So how is this emotion showing up? Often tightness or heat in the neck, the shoulders, maybe some clenching in the abdomen. Sometimes it's difficult to explore into the body. So another option is to see if you can sense the emotion from maybe an inch or two outside your body. Is there an energy there? Or simply dropping into a part of your body that's kind of neutral, like your feet on the floor, your hands, and just resting there. We're just practicing being with the physical sensations in some way and getting really curious about it. Is there a shimmering quality? Is there a color to this emotion? Are there perhaps bands going across the chest or abdomen? Just noticing what's here to be felt in the body. And sometimes you may find you have to go back to the story to recharge the emotion. And that's interesting right there. Naming it, sensing it in the body may allow some shifting. But again, as you sense this emotion, recognizing, particularly if it's difficult, we need to support ourselves in the face of it. Our usual reaction is to want to push it away, avoid it. So notice if there's any tightening around the emotion, any tension in the body, or even tension in the mind, wanting to push it away, wanting to avoid it. And can you begin to soften that? Literally softening into the mind, into the body. What we did right at the beginning of the practice, maybe even seeing if tension is reaccumulated and just softening. Letting gravity take over here, letting the breath wash through your body, nourishing, cleansing, dissolving. Again, simply even saying the word softening can help us be with a difficult emotion. Softening, softening. And then, because there's difficulty here, can you soothe yourself as you might an unhappy child or an unhappy pet? And one way to do that is simply find a place where you can put your hands that are supportive, perhaps over the heart, perhaps clasping your hands, or maybe even just gently touching your legs wherever your hands are, just using this physical gesture of support to let your body, to let you know that you're taking a moment to care for yourself without judgment, without self criticism, without self blame, just caring for yourself because this difficulty is here. Just feeling that supportive touch that you often so readily offer others. Can you open yourself to the support of your own touch? And then often some kind words can help us be with a difficult emotion. So for this, imagine a dear friend, someone you really care about, is going through the exact same situation, feeling the exact same things, exact same story. What would you tell your friend to let them know that you're here for them, that you support them? And then can you say those same words to yourself, whatever they may be? Hey, I'm on your side. I care for you. I will be here with you for this. May you know your own goodness. May you know your own strength and courage. This is the soothing. And again, sometimes even just saying the word soothing is enough. Softening and soothing, softening, soothing. And you can even invite in other beings that support you. Perhaps your sense of a higher power here, or dear ones that provide you with a sense of support and safety. Could be a spiritual being, could be other people, it could be a pet. Just something that helps you feel your strength, feeling supported. Again, this idea of just bringing all of who we are, both within and without, to support ourselves as we work with this difficult emotion. And then finally, in this space, can we simply allow the emotion to be here? This can be a big request. We don't like these emotions, or they stir up things in us that make us get stuck in stories, rumination, fear, worry. So can we just soften and soothe and ease into allowing this emotion to be here? Giving up the struggle that feeds the emotion, that perpetuates the emotion. And this allowing is both mental and physical. Again, checking into the body, softening tension, checking into the mind, offering kind words, physical touch. Really just practicing being on your own side in a world, in a culture that tells you that you don't deserve that. So really make that U-turn and just support yourself here in whatever way works with you. And again, sometimes the simple expedient of saying these words, softening, soothing, and allowing. Softening, soothing, and allowing. Again, something you can do in even 30 seconds in the midst of difficulties. Acknowledging the emotion, sensing it in the body, clasping your hands or hand over the heart, and just softening, soothing, and allowing. And it may be that in this space of ease and allowing around the emotion, you can get a sense that you really are so much more than any thought, any emotion. that you can hold these things in the support of yourself and whoever you choose around you. And as you hold them in this caring way, perhaps you can begin to listen to what the emotion is saying. Perhaps it's telling you about a vulnerability underneath the emotion that you need to attend to. Perhaps it's telling you about a hurt, perhaps from long ago. And then meeting what you find with the same kindness, the same support. In this way, these difficult emotions can become our teacher. We can even begin to think about befriending them rather than resisting and fighting and pushing them away. And we can even begin to think about giving ourselves the time, the space to really open to them in this way. And recognizing that even if that time isn't available in the midst of difficulties, this is a practice that you can go to at the end of the day to really explore the things that came up. Again, giving yourself the gift of fully processing these experiences and attending to the needs and vulnerabilities beneath them. Because as you do that, you can tap into the nurturing side of your own compassion, allowing your natural compassion to flow towards you, but you can also begin to tap into the fiercer side of compassion, the active side, the protective side that can then set boundaries and state unmet needs from a place of deep strength and knowing. So simply recognizing the power of pausing, attending to yourself in this way, naming the emotion, looking for the emotion in the body, softening, soothing, and allowing. And you can go ahead and just release the practice. Or if you wish, you can stay in this space. Sometimes just staying in a space like this can be valuable, hovering yourself a few more minutes. But do recognize that this is something that, the handout will have an audio file as well as background for the practice. And as you continue doing it, you'll find you can really do the whole thing in a very brief period of time, such that when difficulties do arise, you can shift from being in that fight or flight reactive mode to the situation, to the people around you, to yourself even, and shift into the higher centers of yourself, calming and easing yourself, and tap into your fuller wisdom and creativity and strength, so that, as I said before, you can be in the present moment, but also get ready to go into the next moment with a lot more of who you are. So anyway, that is just a brief practice for working with difficult emotions. Thank you guys very much for being here. And again, I apologize for the barking dog, but apparently no one's upstairs to attend to that.